Cross. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I am a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with more requested reactions to a group that we've never reacted to before on this channel, and we will be watching BKB, Dakkubi.
Yeah, so we have been requested to react to Dakkubi for a little while now, and we don't really know much about them. Peyton has actually seen their pre-debut dance stuff, but I have seen nothing. So we took a quick look at their profile, and they're 9-member boy group from Brave Entertainment, and they debuted last year in 2020. So today we'll be watching their first 2 releases, which are Sorry Mama, 미안해 엄마, and then Still, 오늘도 여전히.
Also, we know that they just had a comeback. It has already been requested, but we already had these reactions scheduled and requested first, and we are trying to go in order, so we will get to it. We know that it happened. Now let's go. I feel like there's one of 2 ways 미안해 엄마 could go.
I really just think of the G.O.D song.
I think I already know which direction this one's going.
Is this like a dystopian world or something?
That's what it seems like.
Oh.
Is that Mama that just stood up in the fur coat?
Yeah, I was like, oh, probably.
That was a cool, effect.
Oh, I like the singing doubling.
Acrobatics.
Oh.
I wonder if they do that live every time though.
Oh, that's interesting. That would be interesting, I mean. Who are the masked people?
I don't know.
Right? Oh. I like the beat in this section. This person has a trendier style, the one who just did that part.
This music feels really interesting.
Right?
I don't really understand, but
I get that they're supposed to be rebellious.
yeah.
It's really catchy, but I can tell based on Kasa, this is not targeted to people our age.
No. Or the people in masks the authority that's keeping them down?
Oh right, because when they're singing into the camera, it's CCTV.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
That was a nice slide.
That was nice. This is Inception.
Aw.
I like this section a lot.
Those ad-libs right now in the background.
So at the very beginning, I said I can imagine a song named 미안해 엄마 going one of 2 ways, and I was either thinking it's going to be a really regretful ballad, or it's going to be angry teenage rebellion, and obviously it went the second way, and I'm not really surprised by that, just given what's trending in the market. the demographic that they're being marketed towards, and also the fact that they're a performance group. If they debuted with like a regretful ballad, I would have been like, yeah. Like, it connects straight to the music video storyline, which we obviously started putting together when we were like, oh, that's what the masked men probably represent. And like, it makes sense. Like, once we were paying attention to the lyrics, or at least once I was paying attention to the lyrics and what was happening in the music video, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But I will say the part that I liked the best in the music video was when the member was destroying the artwork. That really stuck out to me because he was like throwing color on all of like the black and white, like more traditional paintings, and like smashing all of the traditional like sculptures and stuff. The dance. So I actually had this thought while we were reacting, but I didn't say it because I knew if I said it and didn't have time to explain it, it could be misconstrued, because the dance is sort of rough. Out of context, that might sound bad, so let me explain. It's not a bad sort of rough. Like, it's not that it's unrefined or unpracticed or they're not together. It's the quality of dancing that they have. Like, it's a little bit rougher, a little bit more raw. The emotions that they're portraying, yeah, it's like they're fighting something the whole time. And it really feels like that. Like, it feels like their bodies are like tensed and ready to like fight or fight back against something. Like, they're trying to break out. Again, totally makes sense. It's a little bit grungier, like the feeling that it gives you when you watch them dancing. And there's not like one specific moment that I can point to be like, this is what's making it like that. It's just the overall vibe and like how they're holding themselves. It's a little bit more grounded, like the facials that they're making. But that fits the whole rebellious concept that's being outlined in the music video and in the lyrics. And in relation to the idea of breaking through like boundaries, like sort of breaking through constraints, it's really in the dance. Like, there's a lot of building walls, building boundaries, and sort of like pushing through them. I guess the most standout one is the acrobatics, and how the illusion they're giving is that they're tumbling over something because of the flip that they're doing. And so it's that sort of storyline being carried through the whole dance. Honestly, just overall, like, I had seen them dance before. I'd seen some of the covers that they've done as I've scrolled through like social media, or it's been recommended to me. So I did have like a certain level of expectations, but even then I felt like this had sort of exceeded it, because this style of dancing just like really suited their movement style. And so I was enjoying watching it. Anna's turn.
Hello! So, time for my comments. This is K-pop boy group debut, and it does have like a few things that we talk about we like expect to see from K-pop debuts, just like showing a lot of energy, and like they had acrobatics, which is a thing that shows energy and picky. Also, like the dance break that happens right before the second verse. A lot of like individual scenes with like close-ups of their faces so you can recognize members more. Those are like things that you typically see in K-pop debuts, which like recognized here, and it makes sense because like you want people to like recognize this group. That being said, with this song, I mentioned during the reaction that like based on the lyrics, they have a very targeted age group demographic. We are not that. I'm trying to think like if I was in the targeted age group demographic and I saw this for the first time, I would feel like I'm being spoken to, like this is really relatable. Concept that they're going for. This is more like a rap hip-hop group. Makes sense. And like musically, they have very heavy synth usage in the song, which like makes a lot of sense because you want to make like more interesting beats and sounds since they have so many rap sections throughout this song. One that I pointed out in the reaction was like the second half of the second verse. The beat totally switches up and it's like trendier. It's like the most trendiest style that you've heard in the song. And then with a more rap focused group, they have like the more emotional, like softer sections to break it up. Although it is interesting because usually in a more like rap heavy group, the bridge will become more like melodic singing, but it was still rapping for this song. But then instead for the final chorus, they had like that female voice ad-libbing, which basically kind of took the place of that. Like it had the function that a more melodic bridge would have. So now I'm curious, like who did they have to sing that? Not that I'll probably ever find out, but I would be interested to know. A few little things that I liked throughout the song. It sounds more like an electric bass line and it's moving a little bit. Going back to the female voice singing at the end that I talked about, the slide that happens when it enters between the bridge and the final chorus section, it enters on the 2 of a measure when you're counting in 4/4 time, and then it sustains throughout the rest of that measure, and then it's a half measure for only 2 beats. and then it like continues on with a regular 4/4 time, which I think is interesting because it's like, oh, the entrance is coming earlier than expected for the chorus. The song has been like switching up sections a lot, and it's like constantly stimulating you with new things, and like that's just another way that they did it towards the end of the song as well. That's all I really wanted to say. Next! So, the second song that we are reacting to is their second release, called Still 오늘도 여전히, and based on the first image, it looks like emotional-ish. Let's just go!
I'm skeptical.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. So brave.
What?
I don't know. Oh! Wait!
I really like the way the lyrics are translated.
I was like,
Do they have
who
English
wrote these
speakers?
English lyrics? Wow. Oh!
That's a really cool setting.
Yeah.
See, this dancing's a lot smoother. It's not as like.
It's like. It's like that trendy angst. I don't know if those are the words I want to use to describe it. That's all I can think of right now.
acrobatic.
Is it the same one that they did the first one?
It's not the same flip.
Oh, okay. Gunshot sounds. I like the guitar line that's been playing in the background this whole time.
It was kind of heart-shaped. Having the girls almost entirely in shadow is a really interesting choice.
They had effects last time too.
Like the movement tracking, yeah.
Yeah, last time it was
The
more
green
of like
jacket. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. This section, I mean the bridge section.
This look at his green jacket really sticks out. That's what I was talking about.
Where?
When I go back.
I cannot see this. Oh.
I like this music video. It's a lot more focused on the dancing.
Yeah, this is good for you. But you know how you were talking about the shots coming up of like the girl's silhouette? I don't know. I feel like it just throws it off for me. It like breaks up the flow.
It's an interesting
The
choice
video.
to have them silhouetted though. Okay, so let me start out by explaining something that I said and that we were sort of talking about as the reaction ended. So I said that the silhouette shots of the girls was interesting, with it being in silhouette, and like even when they show close-ups of the face, you never saw the eyes, so like you never really see anything recognizable. So thinking about like the meaning of the song, like I still love you, but it's sort of talking about this like person that they've lost and are trying to get back or something. It's like that memory that you can't let go of. So that's why I thought it was interesting that they never fully showed the person. But also I do agree with what you were saying at the end, where it's like, that kind of breaks the flow of the music video. And like I said, I was really happy because so much of it was focused on the dance. And so I personally could have done without those shots and just like had a full dance shot, like music video with close-ups of their faces and stuff. Especially because when I went to watch the dance practice, I saw that apparently the members choreographed this. That automatically made sense to me when I was like, oh, so of course the music video is a lot more focused on the dance because they're showing off, like, look what the members can do, because choreography is like another talent that they have. A few things that I liked about the choreography. There's really good accents in it. Like, there are a few drop moments where like percussion will hit at the start of a new part or the start of a new section, and they would like emphasize it with their bodies by like dropping down. Like, there's one moment where the couple of them are on their knees and then it hits, and when it does it, their legs split and they sort of literally like go down 5 or 6 inches, and so you really feel that change. Or in the bridge especially, there's a lot of like hits that sort of are lingering, and it lingers even more because the way that they're moving their bodies on those hits is they're like hitting and then kind of like reverbing out of it or like shaking out of it. And so it was just good musicality, and that makes sense too because obviously they're good dancers, but also having had a hand in the choreography, they know what they want it to look like, and so their musicality is even more heightened. To further explain the acrobatics thing, so it's not the same flip that they did. In Miyane Amma, it was like a side aerial. I can't remember the exact name for it because their legs are bent, but it's a side aerial sort of thing, whereas in this one it was a back flip and a front flip on either side of the stage. And I actually liked how they used that to sort of bring focus back into the center, because they're both flipping towards the center, and right before that happens, half the members exit the stage off one diagonal, and so you've kind of like focused and shifted that way, and then they flip and it centers you back onto what's happening in the middle of the stage. They played with levels a lot, which was really interesting, and not just like, oh, we had someone go down to their knee. Like, there would be levels on a gradient or like kind of like built up as they were dancing, and that just makes the stage pictures a lot more interesting. They also played with the depth of stage a lot. I noticed when they'd have members leave and come back, they wouldn't just come back into the center. They would like come to the back and then move, well, I guess come to the back and then move forward. The way that they had built the choreography left a lot of pictures in my mind where they had made such interesting shapes that it's still lingering, and that's kind of a sign of like really well planned and thought out choreography. So I was really impressed, especially when I found out they had done it. Anna's turn.
Okay, so for my comments, this song is obviously much more singing based than their debut Miyane Oma was. Very strategic choice for a rookie group, because like first comeback track, you're showing basically kind of the complete opposite, and it's like, wow, look at the versatility, and like showing that they can rap, they can sing. Once people find out that they choreographed this one, it's like, wow, they can even like choreograph. And so it's like really trying to like market, show off their skill set. Just going in order of the song, you said in the beginning, are those bird sounds? Yes, those are bird sounds. When you hear bird sounds, it's like, okay, it's gonna be a softer song. I don't know if it's gonna be emotional or if it's gonna be like those spring songs, because this did come out in the spring, but something about it is gonna be softer, and that's what it is. I also mentioned the guitar line that's playing literally the whole song. I mean, there are a few times where it's not playing, like the bridge or like in moments of silence when like everything else cuts out except for this one sound effect, but besides that, it's playing the entire song. So it was nice, but also I was a little surprised because like usually when there's a common theme in a song that plays for most of it, they won't play it during the pre-chorus, but it was actually playing during the pre-chorus too. And then I mentioned like moments of silence earlier, and they do use a lot of silence in this to like focus on a sound effect, like when they're using the gunshot sounds in the second verse, or like the chorus drop, because it's like and then the drop happens, building tension. During the bridge, the style of the song completely switches up, and also they have at the end an auto-tune effect on the voices, and that immediately made me think of like early mid 2000s where it's like the break up but I miss you girl songs because of the auto-tune effect, but like a little less R&B. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out that also kind of reminded me of that vibe was a fade out ending, because also what's interesting is after the bridge, instead of doing a final chorus, it was just like the I love you being sung and an outro happening, and then outro fade out ending. So it's just like really interesting choices, which like makes sense when it's like emotional-ish song, but you don't hear those things as much like nowadays for a song with that vibe. Anyways, I should probably start here.
So TLDR is today we reacted to Dakubi for the first time, and they showed us some things that we expected from a rookie group that debuted last year, but also definitely have their own style and their own direction that they're moving with their group. And between the two songs, while we saw some similar connections, we also can see that like they were really trying to show off as many sides of themselves as possible because the songs are different, which is interesting and very strategic for a rookie group. I think it's safe to say that we are interested in what they've done after this, especially in their most recent comeback, because I've been seeing all of the teasers for it. And so we'll be back soon with another Takumi reaction.
Exciting! So, that being said, if you enjoyed this reaction video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe,
Ding.
turn on your notification bell, and